Hello everyone, welcome to World of Warcraft Classic Era, featuring an Orc Shaman. My goals for this playthrough are going to be very light and simple, with the various hardcore solo self-found characters and Road to Lore Master series as well. It's been quite a long time since I've been able to enjoy the classic dungeon experience. We're going to look to scratch that itch with our shaman here, and we are going to go with Elemental and Restoration as the combination for our leveling journey. Elemental for questing, and we'll perform healing duties in our group content, taking on as many dungeons as we can along the way. If you're new here, I prefer to deliver all of my episodes in a very relaxing and chill format, making it for perfect background noise whatever you are doing. Take in the classic sounds, music, and ambiance that this world we all know and love has to provide. And finally, any add-ons, professions, and other details can be found in the description below. But we'll go over everything in a bit more detail as the episode progresses. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the series. Let's begin our journey through Classic Era once again. We've already picked up our initial starting quests, so let's head out and kill some boars. We have chosen to play on the Whitemane server, as this one seems to have the highest population of characters in general, but particularly throughout the earlier levels, and that is going to be important if we want to run as many dungeons as we can. The more opportunities to do so, the better. If I run a quick /who, there are actually 50 people in the zone of Durotar right now, 11 that are actually around our level range, which is quite impressive for Classic Era. Seems like a good time to come back. I'm very excited to get back into the healing role, and this is going to be a very nice character to come back to whenever I want to scratch that itch for dungeon content again in the future. It's nice to have a character I can always come back to. We picked up a shield off the ground. We can equip that for now, but it is going to be quickly replaced. Since we do have the ability to utilize a staff right from the start, we're going to prioritize our weapon upgrades from the early levels, at least until our mana pool grows big enough to utilize pure spell casting with a little bit more consistency. Whacking stuff with our weapon is still going to be a pretty big part of our gameplay until we obtain some of the juicier elemental talents that are further down the tree. Luckily for us, there are some pretty great staffs to earn from quests and from vendors early on as well. That should give us quite a big edge. Alright, that's it for the boars. Let's return. We'll turn the quest in and we'll pick up our new ability. I believe it's going to be a Rockbiter weapon. Which is surprisingly powerful this early on. I feel like it deals way too much damage early on, but then starts to fall off a little bit as you get deeper and deeper into your leveling journey. So this is the quest we're definitely going to want to do next, which is the Vile Familiars. We're going to want this primitive walking stick for sure. It's going to be a huge upgrade to our overall damage.
What can I do for you?
Let's go ahead and sell some stuff first and turn in this quest so we can pick up Rockbiter weapon.
Go with honor. Go forth.
What are you looking for? May your blades never dull.
What do you need for the hope?
Glory to the Horde. Go forth to victory. What do you need? Farewell.
Our first enhancement spell. Let's go ahead and put that on our bars. We're going to have to remember to keep that up at all times. So we're going to head back out now. I think we might go south first. See if we can grab any of the cactus apples there. There are a lot of players today in the zone. So we're going to be fighting for resources as we move through the rest of the Valley of Trials. Collected a few apples in the southern spot. Let's start heading north now. I want to take on those Vile Familiars as soon as possible. We've been invited to a guild called Classic Leveling. Why not? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see how many guild members there are here. I forgot they changed the interface. Okay, so nearly 600 members, 100 online. Not... Yeah, that's a ton of people. Somebody's using a macro to invite them all. This is good. I normally don't like to join, guilds like this that kind of spam out invites, but it is a really, really nice way to find groups for dungeons. It's worth noting that we are using the LFG bulletin board add-on as well, which should also help. It helps organize our LFG chat and allows us to filter out requests, by dungeon, by what they're looking for, etc. So all these tools should help us a lot. Being in a guild should help us a lot. I'll be sure to move the guild chat to a different tab in between episodes. That way we can keep everything separated. There's not too much going on there. Switch over to LFG chat in the meantime and just let that run. Looks like I already gathered up all of my cactus apples, so let's take on the vile familiars. Yeah, look at that. I'm already seeing requests for early dungeons in here, which is fantastic. This is pretty much going to act like a second LFG chat. Very excited. We're going to be sure to look up AtlasLoot as well. We've installed that add-on too, so we can see what kind of gear we can get from each dungeon. As I do want to emphasize that for our gearing process. It's probably worth mentioning at this point too that we are going with skinning and leatherworking. And I'm going to try not to rely on the auction house as much as possible, at least with regards to obtaining gear specifically. We'll use it to sell anything we don't need, but that's about it. If we are starving for pieces of jewelry, for example, at any point, then maybe we can make an exception there. But otherwise, I'd like to gather up all of our upgrades from dungeon bosses and quests, and our professions. And I originally thought about going with either alchemy or engineering, because I felt like we would be getting plenty of gear to equip from dungeons. But the thing is, leather with intellect on it is probably a bit tougher to come by, and therefore leatherworking may actually come in handy for filling in those gaps. I imagine we'll be using a decent amount of cloth pieces in the beginning while we get our professions rolling. With that kill, we have reached level 3. Alright, that is all the vile familiars we need. Let's head back. We can start working on the Scorpid Tails in the meantime. Probably won't collect all of them, as I do want to get back very quickly to get that staff. We can pick off a few here and there. Something else worth mentioning as well, as we're going to have to visit our trainer at some point before leaving, we're not going to pick up all of our abilities right away before we leave the Valley of Trials. And we're doing that because we need to save up enough silver to pick up a very, very big weapon upgrade over in Senjin Village. I believe it's called the Walking Stick. And it's basically going to last us until past level 10 or so, when we enter the Barrens for the first time. So I want to prioritize that. Weapon damage is still going to be a major part of what we do for a little while. And it's going to help make the most of our character.
Thrall Hall. Be safe. Blood and thunder.
Mokra. May your blades never dull.
Beautiful. There's our primitive walking stick. Let's go ahead and vendor our old weapon equipment, and then we'll pick up the Lazy Peons quest.
Glory to the Horde.
Magraw. Strength.
Let's start in the south. We'll see if there are any Lazy Peons to whack. Down here first. We'll take on some Scorpids along the way. See if this one will go to sleep. It doesn't look like it.
Be busy. Leave me alone. I can do that. Not that kind of orc. Okay. Something you're doing? Okay, dokie.
Very good. Let's start making our way up north again. We've already got 3 out of the 5 Lazy Peons. I always move south for that quest initially because players tended not to go down that way. The only other thing that you can do down there specifically is the Shaman quest, which we'll be going for at level 4. Otherwise, those Lazy Peons are usually free pickings. with that, we have reached level 4. And we've already got a replacement for our chest piece. Before we go any further, let's head back to town. We are going to have to go to the back of the cave to pick up the Burning Blade Medallion, but before we do so, I'd like to pick up the quest for the pickaxe, since we'll be going to the same area. And we'll head back to town. We'll take a little bit of a detour here, since we can pick up the other quest for Sarkoth. Go ahead and do that first, and we'll wrap up our quest for the Scorpid Stingers in the process. Sarkoth is currently dead, so we'll... Oh, there he is. I figured he would be on a hyperspawn. Good that that has been implemented into Classic Era still. I'm always not sure what's there and what's not there when compared to one of the other classic versions like Hardcore or Season of Discovery. I'm assuming that they all just kind of work the same now. Having an increased spawn rate on these named enemies is quite useful. It definitely makes a lot of sense on a higher population server like this. We have our 10 Scorpid Worker tails. Let's turn in the quest for Sarkoth and then head back to town.
What are you looking for?
We'll vendor all that useless junk. And what are we at currently? We are at 2 silver, 90 copper. I believe we need to get to 4 silver. Once we enter the cave up north, we'll start picking up silver from the Vile Familiars.
Who you be? Later.
So that should come in handy. It should push us over the edge. So in the meantime, I don't think we can pick up Earthshock. Maybe we can. I feel like Earthshock is just too powerful to not to pick up, but we are going to skip out on Earthbind Totem and our second rank of Healing Wave.
Strength.
Until we pick up the Walking Stick in Senjin Village. We'll probably get some more silver from turning in
Blood
quests
and
too.
thunder. Dabu. Go forth.
Speak, friend. Dabu! What can I do for you? Be safe.
Loktar, go forth to victory.
And there's our quest for the pickaxe. So now we head north. We've got to pick up the pickaxe. We've got to pick up the Fellstalker hoofs. That's for our shaman quest. And we need to grab the Burning Blade medallion. Let's get into it. Well, something else I'm quickly noticing now that we've been in a guild for a little while, there are a lot of new players. For sure, I'm seeing tons of questions in the guild chats about what specialization to go, about what level you can do a specific dungeon. Lots of questions and requests for help. It's really interesting to see. And I'm truly wondering what has spurred this growth in Classic Era specifically. You would think that if a player is interested in trying out World of Warcraft, they would probably check out retail, especially with the new expansion coming out, but even other versions of Classic, Cataclysm being the most popular version at the moment, and even Season of Discovery having its own merit for newer players. It's just interesting. Alright, well, our guy is dead currently, Yarog Bane Shadow. We're gonna have to wait for him to respawn. It should be any moment now. And I don't think we can pick up any of the enemies down below. because I think they'll try to run all the way around. I suppose we can send out a lightning bolt and find out for sure. Yeah, they just start evading our attacks, pretty much. We'll give this a couple more seconds. His body has already disappeared, so it might show back up in a couple more. There he is. Let's make sure we get the tag. And we hit level 5 as we collect our Burning Blade medallion. Let's go after that pickaxe and the Fellstalker hooves. There we go, we got what we needed from the Fellstalkers, now we just need the pick. And we can hearth back to the Valley of Trials from there. You know what would be really helpful is if we put Earth Shock on our bars. Probably not such a bad idea. It does deal quite a ton of damage at earlier levels. To the point where honestly using Lightning Bolt even as an elemental shaman, not super helpful or efficient compared to just earth shocking. The fact that it acts as a 6-second interrupt as well with a 20-yard range is pretty ridiculous when you think about it. That and Rockbiter Weapon giving you 45 attack power at level 5. The Shaman really is the best early game class there is in Classic Era, and I don't think it's even close. You just get way too much in the beginning. We certainly won't be complaining about that. we've hearthed back to the valley. Let's turn in all of our quests. We'll do the follow-up for our shaman quest. And then once we take care of that, we'll be on our way.
Greetings. Fight well, friend. Go with honor.
It's our first minor healing potion. Very nice. And we picked up some pants as well. No more dress. Now if only we can find some shoes. We'll turn in the quest for a pick in a little bit. Let's first pick up the let's pick up our first totem. Was the path leading up to where the rock elementals are this obvious? I feel like this was a little bit more obscure than it is displayed here. I could be wrong. Yeah, I just felt like this looked a little bit different in the past. For anyone looking to quickly get to Orgrimmar from the Valley of Trials, you can always take this path, jump down, avoid the level 20s if you can, and head over to Ratchet. It's always been a nice little shortcut. And we're here at the Spirit Rock now. Let's go ahead and take a swig of this Earth Sapta. And let's speak with the big guy.
Hello, man. Okie dokie.
Alright, and with that turn in, we have the ability to use Earth Totems now. We picked up our first one in Stone Skin Totem. Not sure how often I'll use this one. We're going to have to try to find space for all the totems we plan on using at some point or another. And of course, the biggest bag space killer. These totems are going to have to sit in our bags at all times. This is one of the things that, if there is going to be a Classic Plus one day, I do hope that they find a way to make this easier to manage. I do enjoy the flavor of carrying those totems around, but I don't think they should take up your inventory slot necessarily.
Thrall Hall. Be safe.
Alright, that's it. We almost hit level 6. We're only going to have to kill maybe like 1 or 2 things outside of the Valley of Trials, and we should hit level 6. Not that it's going to matter too much, because we're not going to be able to pick up those new abilities for a little while. We're going to pick up the walking stick as soon as we get to Senjin Village, which is exactly where we're headed to now. Once we pick that up, we're going to want to make some more silver so that we can pick up our professions as soon as possible. And then we can think about picking up our new abilities.
Loktar. Strength.
We're going to take the path down to Senjin Village first. We're going to pick up our walking stick, and we're going to pick up all the quests as well. Not going to do every single one just yet, because we are only level 5 at the moment. Some of these are going to be going after level 10s, so we're going to be coming back a little bit later. There's a little bit more of an ideal path if you head over to Razor Hill first and take on some of those quests.
How you doing?
And with that turn in, we are level 6. Let's pick up every single quest.
What be on your mind? Who you be?
And now let's head inside this big hut and grab our walking stick.
Hello, man.
Ooh, it's actually 5 silver, so we're off by a little bit here. That's a shame, and we've got nothing to sell as well. So what we'll do in the meantime is we will take on the Solvent Spirit quest for the Crawler Mucus and the Makura Eyes. And by the time we're done with that quest, we should have enough silver to purchase that walking stick. Hopefully there isn't too much competition for these. There usually is, unfortunately. Alright, that should give us enough to purchase the walking stick, so let's go ahead and do that now. And then we'll come back out and finish this up. I'm pretty sure it's going to double our DPS, so that's why it's really important that we kind of drop whatever it is that we're doing to go ahead and grab that. For anyone else trying to play Shaman for the first time, I highly recommend taking this route for weapon progression in the early stages. We're not going to get too serious about it throughout the entire leveling journey. It's just a nice little boost until we get to a high enough level where we can actually utilize our spells a little bit better.
What you want? Stay away from the voodoo. Talk to me.
Alright, very good. And now we just need to make sure that we have enough money to pick up our professions. And we're going to need to pick up a skinning knife as well. Well, that's not going to cost more than about 2 silver for everything. It's worth noting that I have no plans to pick up first aid or cooking for this character. Could use a break from leveling those professions, since we've had to do it pretty much every single time we've touched a hardcore character. Which we've been doing a lot of that recently, so yeah, I don't think we'll need it. Yeah, this is much better so far. Very, very quick kills. Trying to see if I can find more of those Makuras closer to the Isles. Those tend to be the trickiest ones to catch without getting pretty close to the other islands. And we're not getting too lucky on the eyes so far. Or the mucus for that matter. I think we're still halfway. And there's our first eye. It's about time. Let's see how much more we can collect within the next couple of minutes. Alright guys, I think that is going to do it for me for today. We could not finish the Solvent Spirit. We're not quite there yet. We still have to pick up a bunch of eyes and several more mucus as well from the crabs scuttling across the coast. As always, I appreciate all of you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.